What happens when you tell Boosh there's Ritz, but no easy cheese? You get a very angry beast, folks. Hey there, I am the Mighty Plantain, and we are looking at Very Angry Beast from Clown Shoes. It's an American Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels. Now, I believe it's a derivative of one of their other beast-named beers. The label's not in the best shape, but this was the only bottle at my local beer store, and I could not pass it up. I remember reading about this a little while ago and hoping I could find it, and I finally did. It's a very nice, interesting label, some great artwork. There's a winged unicorn with looks like a Superman emblem around its neck, rampaging through a downtown area. Almost looks like dragon-esque because it has a dragon tail on it. And of course, there's a bunch of people filming it with their cell phones. So, the label art is always really nice on these. And we're going to read the little story about the beer, which is always interesting. We decided to bring back Very Angry Beast. That's why I couldn't find it. It wasn't being made for a little while. A classic from the Irate Beast series. The creature became so agitated, however, he busted out from the old label right into the parking lot of our brewery. So it's the brewery on the label. Man, we'd better corral this bad boy or the damages are going to be tough for the insurance company to cover. The beer? It's a blend of Undead Party Crasher and Blaecorn Unidragon. Okay, 100% bourbon barrel aged and also 100% angry. Okay, Undead Party Crasher, originally called Vampire Slayer, just for the record. That is an awesome beer. And Blaecorn Unidragon is actually one of my favorite Clown Shoes beers. It is heavy, it is thick, it is awesome. So they blended the two of those and aged it in bourbon barrels. Got high expectations for this one. Pardon. This is not my first beer of the evening, so I may be a little pre-carbonated here. And at 11% ABV in the Big Bomber, something tells me I'm going to be savoring this one. Not only because I'm sure it's going to be a great beer, but also because I don't need to suck down an 11% ABV beer too quickly this evening. Yes. It's funny because it has a runnier, I don't know if that's the word for it, but it looks thick and viscous in terms of the color, but as I'm pouring it out, it behaves more like a less viscous beer. It's actually got small little bubbles. It's effervescing like a soda versus a beer, which I don't usually see from such a heavy beer, but it is black as midnight. But yeah, lots of little tiny, quickly disappearing bubbles that make me think of a soda. And if you pour out a can of Pepsi into a glass and you look at the way it behaves and listen to the sound the bubbles make as they're bursting on the surface, and then take any beer and pour it into a glass, and you'll see that the suds, the bubbles, the effervescence, it all behaves differently. And I've said about a lot of different beers, I think I smell coffee from back here, that they bubble like a soda. So try that little experiment. Tell me if I'm nuts. Tell me if I know what I'm talking about, because I'm pretty sure I do, but it sounds weird every time I say it. I was getting a little whiff of coffee from back here. Getting down in it. Maybe a hint of coffee, but more of like a roasty and woody note. Definitely a toasty aroma coming off of that. And maybe a hint of booziness that speaks to the bourbon barrel aging and the fact that it's a double-digit ABV beer. Yeah, slight bit of coffee, which is fading fast. I'm getting more of those roasty, toasty notes with a hint of booziness. And maybe maybe an actual bourbon aroma, but that might just be my imagination. Yep, that is awesome. It has a lighter mouthfeel than I was expecting. It's actually got a bit of a medium-heavy mouthfeel versus a heavy mouthfeel. It's going down remarkably smooth. I am getting those toasty wood flavors. I don't know if I'd narrow it down and say oak, but definitely like a roasted, toasted wood flavor. I'm getting hints of coffee, hints of caramel, hints of chocolate. I'm definitely tasting bourbon as well. But no particular flavor is coming forward. They're just kind of rotating on my palate. Now, I believe Undead Party Crasher is actually aged over wood as well. Vampire killing steaks, if you follow the original recipe of Vampire Slayer. There's a story behind the beer Vampire Slayer having its name changed to Undead Party Crasher, and it's pretty interesting. Look it up. I'll try to post a link to the video that I talk about that story in right there. But anyway, back to this one. Just to bring that back, though, the Undead Party Crasher and the Blaecorn Unidragon, as I said before, are two really great beers from Clown Shoes. Blaecorn Unidragon being one of my favorites, and I'm not necessarily remembering off the top of my head what flavors I got from each of those. So I'm going to just keep talking about this one as a separate one, which I should have done before, and I probably didn't need to go on that tangent. But like I said, this is not my first drink of the evening, and the 11% ABV is going pretty quickly to me. To me liver, I guess I should have completed that thought as well. But that brings up another point. I was getting a bit of booziness in the aroma, but I am not tasting any hint of booziness in the beer itself, which is really impressive for an 11% ABV beer. It's remarkably smooth given what's going into it. It's going down very easy. It's going to be dangerous. I do need to make myself slow down and savor this once I'm done filming. But again, I'm getting bourbon, I'm getting caramel, I'm getting those roasty, toasty wood notes. I am getting hints of chocolate and coffee, maybe a slight bit of sweetness. It's a really well put together beer. And again, the fact that it's a blend of two beers from Clown Shoes that I really enjoy might be factoring in here, but I've got to hit this with the full 5 out of 5. Burp. Whew, pardon. This is an amazing beer. It's really well put together. I'm getting that wow reaction almost every time I take a sip. So, yeah. Loving it. Loving it. 5 out of 5 for me. And again, the Clown Shoes beers are always a great experience. You've got great label art. You've got a nice little story about the beer that not only goes a little fanciful, but also tells you what's going on with the beer itself. I don't know who they get to do these labels, but the art style is usually very similar. Maybe there's 2 or 3 different people, but they all look very similar. How many times can I repeat that? Anyway, it's really well done art as well. So, I like seeing that. The whole experience of a Clown Shoes beer is just incredible every time. Even if it's one you don't like, they're fun to drink. So I think I've run out of things to say about it. So before I start rambling any more than I already have, I'm going to cut this off here. 5 out of 5 for me, but that's just my opinion on the beer. I already explained why. Hit me up down below in the comments, the email link. Let me know what you think of the beer. While you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe to... like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. Yes. Like I said, it's hitting me quick. Till next time, folks, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.